We started the Workplace Equality Fund pilot by recruiting 4 private sector employers, and what we were trying to do is to trial a tailored improvement consultancy approach to reducing mental health stigma and discrimination in the workplace. All 4 companies took part in a needs assessment. We did an organisational checklist and a profile with the HR teams and the management. We did a staff survey that went out to everyone in all 4 companies to try and get their opinion on what was the implementation of the policies and practices like, what was the management behaviour like, what was the culture of the organisation. I also went out and did as many one-to-one and group interviews as I possibly could to try and get stories from staff members about what their experience was like with mental health in their workplace.
We got involved in the project as we saw it as a brilliant opportunity to try and emphasise the fact that Scotrail as a business want to try and end the stigma around mental health. We've got a culture at the moment where people feel it's not okay to say that they're depressed or they've got anxiety or they've got any mental health condition because of the stigma attached.
Our staff are actually out in the middle of the night, they're actually working in unhospitable environments, and that's when we recognised that there was a potential risk for mental ill health out there.
Traditionally in law firms and in professional services, it's not been a subject that's really been talked about. It's a high performance culture. People might be fearful traditionally of saying anything that might damage their careers, and we felt it was something that we needed help and support with, and it's something that we wanted to change.
The initial improvements that we focused on was communication. So we have not long introduced our employee app, and that is immediate feedback, immediate communication for everyone that downloads the app.
The area that we wanted to work more on was on recruitment and on culture, so that people felt that they would be okay to talk about that in advance of having a diagnosed condition.
Time to Talk is a massive event, and for one day, if somebody can just have that one conversation, who knows where it could lead to. And if that one person has that one conversation and another person sees them having a conversation, then we're just starting a catalyst of people talking about mental health.
We did a survey internally which gave us some good insights as to what was working well, what wasn't working so well. Doing some work on creating a mental health policy. We did some training recently on mental health, and we're going to do some more for mental health first aiders.
Within Babcock, we feel it's of pivotal importance that you embed not only physical but mental health within everything that you do, building it into your policies and your practices, ensuring that as part of your training programs, you're actually recognising, supporting and providing staff with the tools and the skill set to look after their own mental ill health as well as that of others. Creating that leadership and strategic direction will ensure it's embedded within the organisation and it becomes part of the culture of your business.
It really needs to be the leaders and the top managers embedding it so that it becomes a normal culture for their managers and then their direct delegates.
If members on the ground can see people from high up that are passionate about this, then they're not going to be scared about coming forward.
I think the best thing is how powerful it is and how positive it is to get people talking, and actually how relatively simple it is. Once you sort of break the logjam and get people talking, you build up a real head of steam and a momentum, and you notice big differences relatively quickly.
We've taken steps in that we've got our managers starting on a training programme, we're working through that. And we're also in the process of designing Z cards, which has all the information about the support that Scotrail can offer. We're looking at introducing mental health first aiders as well.
The hotel industry is about enjoying yourself, and it's important that our colleagues and staff enjoy themselves. If you don't have happy colleagues, then how can you have happy guests?
Good mental health is absolutely good for the business. If you've got good mental health, your attitude is different on the ground.
The more we talk about mental health, the more that we support each other, then the more comfortable, the more happy people will be at work.
We want to hire the best people regardless of their background or regardless of their circumstances, so I think being more attractive as an employer is incredibly helpful, and being open to talking about mental health will give us a wider pool of people to attract.
People are much more settled in their work environment and much more comfortable to take on new challenges and become more productive if you create the right environment for them that recognises and supports mental health challenges.
Just seeing people being able to talk more to one another, I just find it really rewarding, and to me that's really what work should be like, because you spend too much time at work to not feel comfortable. Openness, trust, communication, it's imperative when you're at work.
Babcock already had quite an established relationship with the charity CME. By engaging in this programme, it allowed us not only to sustain and deepen the knowledge base with CME on the programme that we have within Babcock, but it allowed us to get exposure to other organisations within Scotland and get peer-to-peer learning and support and understand the challenges that we all face and how we can support one another as organisations to tackle that single problem of mental ill health and discrimination in the workplace.
As we've seen from the example of the 4 companies in the pilot, change is possible. Companies large or small, on a limited time, on limited budget, and even if you're worried about the scale and complexity of the issue, you can make a difference. Through improved training, through better policies, and most importantly through opening up conversations in your workplace, you can end mental health stigma and discrimination.